cooperatively, that's a word. And if it's not, I know it'll be on your video, Claude. Cooperatively build a dam structure that is as big as the Hoover Dam. And
really?
so you got to defend your worldview that was random chance, unguided mutations in creatures that would lead to that beaver and what the beavers and what they do. So so your explanation is that it was random chance, unguided, undesigned, and ours would be that looks designed. It would have taken a designer.
So this beaver dam that's so big, and I believe there is one that is long, but it's nowhere near the size of the Hoover Dam. How high is the beaver dam that you're talking about?
Not high. It was saying
exactly. Well, you've got to you can't just pick and choose, without the Claude sort of getting down on that. The square meterage or square footage, I think you would say, is nowhere near the Hoover Dam. So it is totally misleading to say that they built a dam bigger than the Hoover Dam. They have not.
Thank you. No, and thank you. On the video, and this is not creation video. It said it's not as high, not as much volume behind it, but the size of it.
It's long. It's the length.
Thank you, Claude. And this
size is a combination of length by height. It's not just one arc. So no, it's not. They have not built a dam larger than the Hoover Dam. No amount of twisting the truth will ever show that.
Okay, let's see. And let's see what they said about it. Okay, it's twice as long as the Hoover Dam.
Yes.
And Dan, if I could share something just briefly.
Are you sharing it on the screen?
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So this was just a quick Google search. Have beavers built object larger than the Hoover Dam? A very quick answer. Yes, beavers have built a dam that's larger than the Hoover Dam. The world's largest beaver dam is located in Wood Buffalo National Park in Alberta, Canada. It is 2,790 feet, 850 meters long. That is more than twice the length of the Hoover Dam, which is 1,244 feet long. The dam is visible from space and is thought to have been built by multiple beaver families over many months. So, Dan, you were not lying.
I'm sorry, it's wrong, and that's what happens when you Google. You rely on Google for your answers. The fact is, the Hoover Dam is 726 feet in height. The Beaver Dam is about 3 feet in height. If you multiply the height by the length, then you'll get some idea of the square footage. The Hoover Dam is far larger than the Beaver Dam. That is very simple. I mean, even Kent would know
it's an honor to be in a room with someone who is smarter than Google.
Well,
very good. And so I
love it. I love it.
Thank you, Claude. So according to would you agree that okay, according to the theist computer sites, whoever they are at Google, all those God believers, the Beaver Dam is, can you quote that again, Stephen? Stephen, where'd you go? Am I talking? Am I muted? Anyway, whatever words.
No, I can hear you.
So according to the God believers at Google, the Beaver Dam, did they say larger or bigger? What word did he use?
You said larger. You said, that's what I was arguing with. What you said. And then you look up, if you want to go and looking up Google, you come at that very silly argument where it says, yes, it's bigger because it's wider or longer. It's not. Yes, it is longer, but it is not higher. And in order for it to be bigger than the Hoover Dam, it would have to be a probably about, what is it? This tall. How big is the Hoover Dam? I'm just going to look it up. I don't think you can understand simple area. Can you understand area?
Well, and actually though, Claude, then you would have to do the structure where the dam, what is its height? Hoover Dam is wide at the top. If you know the shape, it's a triangle. So no, it's not a simple math thing.
It's still easily bigger than the Beaver Dam.
Math.
Listen to me.
You can correct Google.
Yes. No. I'll correct you, because I think that even you can understand this. Okay. So the Hoover Dam is 726 feet tall, right? Is that acceptable to you? And it is 1,244 feet in length. Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait. Yeah.
Let's double that for the Beaver Dam, which would make it 2,488 feet in length. But it's only 3 feet high. It's
only 3 feet high.
So it is not bigger.
Who said 3 feet high?
It's not larger than the Hoover Dam in any way.
Well, and that's why I said thank you, Claude, because we are doing sources there. According, and if Stephen was still in here and posted that again, we would get the exact right.
Oh, I can post it right now. I've got it pulled up.
Still wrong. Like, you can post whatever you like. I presume you are mathematically literate, Stephen.
Oh no, I'm relying on just Google here.
Because Claude is now an expert in math, an expert in this. He's not having to go to experts on this. We had to go to experts. So
what I'm confused about, Dan, is whenever Google had to fact check everything with Claude, was he off this day when this got posted? Yeah. I mean, that is a grievous error, and I hope someone from Google gets penalized for this.
Yeah,
this should have gone through Claude first.
Oh, we should have looked up Wikipedia, because doesn't Big Bad Mama help edit Wikipedia? And we know then that's 100% accurate. So, Stephen, what did it say about bigger than the Hoover Dam?
Yeah, so the largest Beaver Dam is 2,790 feet in length, more than half a dozen mile long, and was discovered via satellite imagery in 2007. Now, this gives us the dimensions of height, right? It says, length. So it tells us how long it was, but then down here, it also tells us twice as wide as the Hoover Dam.
Okay, so give me,
So two out of three dimensions, Claude. I mean, it's not looking good for you, and I would write to Google and tell them.
No, time out, Stephen. I wanted to know the language they use. That the Beaver Dam, is there a Beaver Dam bigger, larger? What was their words?
So the length, world's largest Beaver Dam in Wood Buffalo National Park, Alberta, Canada, is much longer than the Hoover Dam in Arizona and Nevada. The Beaver Dam is 2,790 feet long, while the Hoover Dam is only 1,240 feet long. We saw on the other one that it's twice the width. So 2 out of 3 dimensions, it's larger, and by double, mind you. So I guess Claude is going to say that the third dimension so over encompasses the first 2 dimensions, which are each double in their own estimation.
Let's correct it though, and we'll correct. But I'm really asking. There was a word it said the Beaver Dam was either larger, bigger. It was something. I don't care about the dimension, width, It just said it had isn't that a verb? I'm not good at that. That the Beaver Dam was. Did it say larger?
Oh, yeah. When you Google it, it clearly says that this Beaver Dam is larger than the Hoover Dam. It wasn't even a comparison. But again, we have to assume that the people at Google who would oversee Claude getting this information first were just absent that day.
And so I would say a disclaimer.
If you're capable of maths.
No, Claude.
No, you don't want to hear the truth.
No, what we're saying is the truth is that according to Google.
Well, let Claude talk.
Jason, on your show, you can run it. So Claude, thank you for having us to be able to clarify. According to Google, the Beaver Dam is larger than the Hoover Dam. And so that's what we're bringing up. Now, if you bring out the math, now you got to actually do the dimension width-wise, Claude. Again, it's a beaver dam. So according to the experts, the beaver dams, some places they're higher than a man, which makes it 6 feet tall. So you actually can't do a mathematical 1-to-1. And again, the Hoover Dam is a triangle, smaller at the bottom. So you'd have to, we can't get.
Yes, you need to allow for that. So that there is a formula for doing that.
So according, and I'm taking that. Thank you, Claude. That did you hear what I just said? So I clarified. Thank you for having us clarify that according to Google. So you can take it up with Google, and you can figure out. I want to see the actual.
Well,
I want you to figure out. Well, no, because it's going to take more. You got to know exactly. You're not going to do estimates. You got to take the width.
I'm not stupid, I can understand these things.
One second, Dan. I think I found the nail on the coffin. Now, again, this is Google, so you guys are going to have to understand that they may not have cleared this with Claude first. But according to the Google search, which is taller, the Beaver Dam in Canada or the Hoover Dam? Quick answer. The Beaver Dam in Wood Buffalo National Park, Alberta, Canada, is taller than the Hoover Dam in the United States. So now we have confirmation that the Wood Buffalo National Park Beaver Dam is taller, twice as wide, and longer. Claude, what else do you want? Just apologize and move on, man.
No, you're just incredibly ignorant when it comes to that. I'm telling you that
what math system are you using?
Why don't you listen? Why don't you listen? You can't listen. It's 3 foot high, the Beaver Dam. And if you multiply that.
Where does it say that, Claude? Claude, where does it say that?
Yeah, look up the Beaver Dam and you will find it's 3 feet high. It's anybody knows that the Beaver Dam is around that anyway, but you have a look.
No. You're talking about a specific Beaver Dam.
Right, okay, let's look it up.
Not average.
You must have looked it up because you made the claim.
No, I was just taking the claim face value.
Well, of course. Well, I don't, because I've got a few brains,
No, I'm I guess you're smarter than everybody at Google. I might believe that because I really don't trust. See, but that's the thing, Claude. You say that the experts. Are you saying the people at you go for Claude? You say you go for experts. You go for the scientist. You have the fallacy of the experts. And so then you're arguing with us. We're just going for the experts, which we think. Now you can argue with Google. You can argue.
I can argue with you based on mathematical knowledge. I mean, I'm competent at math. I realize that you probably aren't now. I thought that you actually would be good at that, especially being a landscaper. God knows how you ever work out the square footage of any garden you're ever working on. How do you do that?
I actually have to have the exact. I have to have the exact measurements. I'm not going to go. Well, it's about 3 feet. So if I times 3 feet, no. I got to do a grid. I would have to take that dam up there and I'd have to do a grid. Some places it's going to be, what'd you say, Stephen? 3 times wider than the Hoover Dam. Sometimes it's going to be narrower. I'm going to have to grid it, or I'm going to go bankrupt, or I'm going to really rip people off, because if I underestimate, I'm going to be ripped off. I'm going to lose money. And if I overestimate, oh yeah, let's give you a $10 billion thing that I could do in 1 billion. That's how the government works, though. But so you see what I'm saying, Claude? You cannot come here going averages. No, you'd have to go to that dam and you'd have to argue with Google. I don't have the measurements that it would take on a simple, and it would take, like I said, it would take a grid over that, what was it, 2 miles to see. I'm just telling you what Google says. So Claude,
Well, you hadn't looked up Google. You just said it. You plucked it from your brain. You told me. Now you're telling me you just looked up Google. You didn't look up Google. You just made it up.
We just showed you Google.
Yeah, just now. But when you made the claim, you hadn't looked up Google. You know that.
No, he read it.
Don't try and mislead everybody.
Even read it. He's the one. I wouldn't have said.
I love you. I'm not in love with you, but I do love you.
So now this is a good thing though. So Claude, we can't always guarantee that the experts are right, is what you're telling me. And I'll go with that. I'll say that Google, because I did read that thing, and it said it's larger than the Hoover Dam or bigger or whatever it is. And then you come and say, well, it's not, dimensionally. Did Claude leave? No, there he is. It's not dimensionally bigger if you add it up. Okay. There again, I would have to have the dimensions gridded out to figure it out.
And very simple. If you'd listen, I would actually be able to do it.
Oh, you said it. You said 3 feet. That's not a measurement. That's an average.
We'll do it by the maximum height of dams, which I believe you can look that up and you can tell me. I think 5 foot. We'll work it out both ways, and we'll still show you that you're totally wrong. It is nowhere near.
No, not us. I'm just quoting Google. I'm just quoting these things.
Perhaps you should do some research before you quote from sources. You're not very bright here.
So
it's really simple.
So that's cool, Claude. So then you do believe then that everything else about the beavers, that this video, which is not a theist video, so you'll believe all that though, right?
Not necessarily. Especially when you're telling it, because you have a history now of repeating stuff that isn't true.
Okay, you will guarantee your life on it.
What?
Well, you're saying the experts are wrong. That's all I'm saying. And actually, that shows.
I will tell you.
And you're saying that scientists can be wrong, then, right?
The square footage of the Hoover Dam.
Can scientists be wrong then too?
And
hey,
that
I'm just
is
saying
size.
this to confirm that I'm
That's
me.
how we determine size.
Thank you, Pike.
Well exceeds this Beaver Dam that you're talking about.
But who are any of us? You know what I mean?
So what Claude is saying is that this is a very simplistic. It really took no engineering. It took no collaboration. The Beaver. See, and this is Claude. You're arguing about something that really doesn't matter. Okay, it's smaller than it, but it's more complicating. It's more complicating than the Hoover Dam, and I'll stand behind that because this is a woven structure where Hoover Dam was highly engineered. Now, can you give me that, Claude? That the Beaver Dam.
You just said it was highly engineered. What do you think? What do you think that means? Complicated or just something that's easy? You're incredible.
So you're saying that the Beaver Dam is very simplistic.
No, I'm saying that your claim. You see, this is it. You then put words in my mouth. You're the one that made that statement.
Right.
I challenged you, and then you cover, and that I said something that I didn't say. It's so obvious. I can't wait to listen to the replay.
So you're looking at. So you're saying that the measurements that Google got are wrong. I'll go with that. So we'll say Hoover Dam is what did you call it, Claude?
I'm saying that the measurements your claim was wrong.
That's what we quoted from Google.
No. I'm saying that your claim is wrong.
Oh, which claim is that now? I thought we were talking about
the Beaver Dam is larger than the Hoover Dam.
Okay.
It is
and as you saw, I apologize for quoting sources that are used for the planet on doing it. I apologize. I didn't go to peer-reviewed papers that are according every peer-reviewed paper must be 100% accurate. All the millions, billions of peer-reviewed papers had to be right because they were peer-reviewed, right, Claude?
Peer review is much better source than the.
No. I didn't say better. No, you're twisting words. So are you saying then, because you say, and I'm not, this is not bad or good.
You're just running from the actual question here. This is your typical tactic.
Claude? Do you go by scientist to get your information on evolution?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. So, which means then so you know then that you are citing sources that have been wrong, correct?
No.
No?
No.
So then again, you would have then. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not putting words. You're saying that sources are peer-reviewed papers. Peer-reviewed papers. Those are the experts. That's the science. You are sticking by it. That you know that some of them. Well, you're not knowing that some of
Can
those
I
are
jump
wrong.
in
Right? Go ahead, Christian.
just for a minute? When you're talking about something being bigger than something else, the way that science usually approaches that is massive, how much mass it has, and then when you're in a gravitational environment, sometimes they'll use weight as another form of calculation. An example of how this can be a little bit counterintuitive is like if the Earth collapsed into a black hole, that black hole spatially would seem much smaller than the moon, but it would in fact be much more massive than the moon. So I think if I'm misunderstanding Claude, please correct me. I think what he's saying is that massively in terms of mass or weight, the Hoover Dam outweighs the wood that makes up the Beaver Dam.
No, he's talking about size, and which could be
I
true.
was talking about square footage. Yeah.
Oh, square footage. Okay, I may have misunderstood you.
Now then, Stephen, are you around? Now we said though it was 3 times wider than the Hoover.
It's twice as wide. It's
Twice as
almost 3 times as long. And Google says it was taller. Claude says it's only 3 feet tall. So
All right, he said
okay, I'm going to work it both ways. I'll say it's 6 feet tall if you like. That's no problem.
I'm going to give it to you, Claude, though, because I did not do the math. And yes, I can go math down to the. I'm going to give it to you, Claude. Hoover Dam, because you say it, and the experts on Google say it oppose you, but I'll go with your view. Good, we're good.
Okay,
the Beaver Dam is huge, not as big as the Hoover Dam in volume. Okay, so my apologies. You can even do that one on your short. Dan Posey apologizes to.
No, I don't care about an apology. I want you to understand it. I want you to understand. And let's do a simple calculation.
How much concrete have you estimated, Claude?
No concrete have I estimated.
How much rock have you estimated on jobs?
None.
How much sod? How much soil conditioner? So again, I'm just going to give it to you because unless you grid it out, can you understand that if you have an odd shape, you can't estimate that exactly. So
I'm going to estimate it in a way that it's not
dam. We can do it with the dam because we can get a grid and measurement of that with, and actually we've got probably the records of how much concrete square footage was used, how much cubic yards and how many square feet it made, but you cannot measure and the size of the dam without the Beaver Dam without going and gridding it off. But I'm going to give you the thing that your math is going to outdo it. Again, though, you're probably right. Google is probably wrong. Again, apologies to anybody that is watching us. Again, watch the experts. They can be wrong. Claude just proved that science experts in the field can be wrong. Can be wrong. So that's the best thing out. That's a good clip, Claude. Claude Balls proved that experts are not God and they can't be trusted. Okay, can we get back to the video? Sorry, Christian.
I did have one more comment if that's okay.
You can keep. And yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, just real quick. I don't know. I would have to look at both things, obviously, to determine which one had a larger two-dimensional surface. But I don't really see how that's relevant in terms of something being big or massive, because you could take a drop of water and spread it out very far two-dimensionally. That doesn't make it massive.
Can we all at least agree, though, that this Beaver Dam is big.
Well, that's a very different statement. That's a very different
Again,
statement.
Claude, when I go through Google next time, I'm going to look for the Claude approved logo or sticker on it to let me know that you have fact checked it. And I bow down, sir.
Yes. Okay. Oh, sorry, Christian. What else? But thank you for that.
I just wanted to say, you know, I don't, like I said, I'm not trying to interrupt or anything, but when you're talking about one thing being bigger, it is true that surface area coverage is one way of looking at that. But I think that in a three-dimensional world, something being more massive or heavier or whatever is a better way of looking at it. And I would imagine that the concrete making up the Hoover Dam probably easily outweighs the wood that makes up that
Totally
Beaver
outweighs,
Dam.
I would think. Well, it's waterlogged though too, so.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing. I just know the Hoover Dam is a very massive structure.
We can speculate. Yes, I would
The
say
Beaver Dam is longer, obviously. I mean, I think that everybody concedes that.
Longer and wider.
Well, it's over twice as long and it's twice the width. So, and like Dan said, this is not just dried out logs and some mud. Like this is wet mud and wet saturated wood. Like this is, it's of course not going to weigh as much as the concrete that makes up.
When you
the
say
Hoover
twice
Dam.
the width, I mean the Hoover Dam isn't it like 180 feet tall or something?
Right,
no, not
but
tall.
according to what we read, it says it's twice the width.
So they're saying that there's parts of the Beaver Dam that, like, when you say width, I'm trying to understand what you mean by that.
From front to back.
Oh, like the thickness of it?
Right. It's twice the thickness. It's over 2 times the length. We just don't know how tall it is.
Because they just keep stacking more and more logs. I mean,
right.
You know, I thought you guys meant like the height of it.
Well, that's what we can't figure out. There's no information about the height of it.
And that's why I gave it to Claude. It's like, you know, because, Pike, when you're doing material, you're not going to just make an estimate to get total accuracy. You're going to, and you're still going to get close, but you don't want an extra, say, 20 yards of concrete when you're doing a foundation, and you don't want to be 20 yards.
If you get off by 20 yards, you've done something wrong.
Yeah.
If I could offer this also into the equation, guys, what you're seeing here is the tip of an iceberg. There is much wider of a base underneath what they've built up. You're just seeing the top of a submerged mountain here. So, like, it's even larger than what we can see. This is just what's not submerged.
Well, it's rather like a dam, like the Hoover Dam then.
According to Google, but we're gonna say the experts are wrong and Claude is right, because here we do believe that humans are fallible and make mistakes, and again, the experts at Google are wrong.
Please look at the comments. I've put some
cool. And so now you're saying that you do know that isn't the base wider than the top? It's not a straight down on the Hoover Dam.
I'm doing the square footage, not the cubic footage, because we don't have the measurements for the cube. Oh, you've gone quiet, or have you muted me?
No, you're here.
A cubic would be roughly from the tip of your finger to your elbow. So if you could go get those dimensions for us, Claude,
cubic,
and then submit them into your argument.
Don't be, I mean, I can have a reasonable discussion with a person who is able to.
Oh, no, what you're saying, no,
I love you.
I don't
there's
want
so you're
saying your love doesn't do anything for me. I'm sorry.
Claude, Claude, so you're saying just the outside diameter is bigger at Hoover Dam. Well, what a waste of time.
Square footage. How many times do I have to tell you? Square footage.
Okay, yeah. So, and again, Claude, so you're saying I don't know. I'm thinking of the area, which would be the cubed. Okay,
of course you are now. That's what you come up with now.
You're going to simpler math.
If you provide me with the total dimensions of the Beaver Dam, then I can compare that for you as well. But you'll need to provide it for me, because I thought you would have looked it up. In fact, you told me that you did. That's why
we looked up what. No, I didn't say how many. Darn it! Sorry, I apologize to everybody that watches this.
Can I speak?
Oh, go ahead, Claude.
Oh well, I don't know exactly how beavers evolved a design for a beaver dam, but I can tell you that they weren't designed by some sort of an intelligent designer. that also designed humans, because otherwise the intelligent designer that designed humans would give us teeth that self-sharpened, that mended themselves and kept growing so that we didn't die toothless like so many people did.
Okay, so you're given the argument from the bad design argument. Now, what?
Well, that's how I know there wasn't a designer. Yeah.
So you know that you know.
Absolutely. Yes.
Do you know that planes fall out of the sky, killing thousands of people?
Yes, I know, and you dance when it happens.
With that, then, were those planes not designed? So under your
Of course they were designed.
but they're not designed perfectly.
Well, they don't reproduce for a start. They're different between an inanimate and
No,
an
we're talking about design.
object.
And
Yes,
your
well,
argument, your argument is that the biology is bad today, so therefore it wasn't designed. So that's not the
not by an
the
intelligent
biology
designer.
or-
Could
you
have
wanna-
been designed by a nasty person, but not by an intelligent designer.
So an intelligent designer has to be a nice guy?
Well, generally, your God's a nice guy, isn't he? That's
No, we're
you're
just-
the people that
I
think
might be
there's
wrong.
an intelligent
We're just-
designer. I
We're
don't.
just talking about, because by design you can't tell it's which God it was. What if it's an intelligent designer?
Oh, so you acknowledge there's more than one God. That's interesting. I'm an atheist with regards to all of them. You are just maybe you're not. Maybe you believe in all of them.